If Republicans really want women to have more babies, why are they making having babies so terrifying? I mean, if you wanted someone to have a baby, you'd think you'd create an environment of safety for them. You would help them feel physically, emotionally, and financially supported. You would think Republicans would provide would-be moms with the basics so they could leverage their well-being to create more well-being, and eventually their being would be well enough to responsibly have a child. You would think Republicans would want the women producing these babies to have the ability to actually raise well-adjusted, healthy people. You would think quality of life would be considered along with quantity. At the very least, you would expect Republicans to refer to data on what tactics are best for bettering people. It's no mystery that good people grow out of love. A mom who is financially stable, physically safe, and emotionally nurtured can be a much better mom than a mom whose life is in chaos and who's barely scraping by. Children growing up in poverty have less of a chance at becoming citizens who participate in society in a healthy way. Short-sighted Republicans don't seem to worry that propagating a population with people who are ill-equipped for creating happy, healthy lives leads to communities that are ill-equipped to support happy, healthy citizens. We all know hurt people hurt people. Hurt people may produce babies, but unless the hurt is healed, those babies will come up hurt too. You would think Republicans would realize that punishment, force, and control won't perpetuate the cycle of life for very long. You would think Republicans would realize they've turned women's childbearing years into a minefield. Just like every child imagines what it's like to be shot at school, since Dobbs, every woman in America imagines what it would be like to be forced to carry their rapist baby. Instead of helping women embrace fertility, Republicans are making women terrified of it ruining their lives. Women aren't stupid. Women aren't going to believe Republican womb raiders have benevolent intentions. Many Republican women still think somehow they're immune to forced birth. That's just for Democrat skanks, right? But in time, even Republican women will take measures to not get pregnant. Republicans haven't considered that even women who want to have babies will fear the government monitoring their pregnancies. Eventually, women will fear their own neighbors for tracking changes in their bodies. Women won't be honest with their doctors for fear they could be reported for any behavior that could be misinterpreted as harmful to the pregnancy. Who would want to get pregnant under surveillance? So do the math. Women not wanting to get pregnant will result in women not wanting to have sex that might get them pregnant. Once birth control goes, it's going to be a cold winter for men in America. Who wants to do the deed if the deed could steal your life? Women who are straight will encourage their partners to get vasectomies, and many more women will get their tubes tied so Republicans can't legislate their wombs anymore. Bisexual women will choose female partners instead of risking sex leading to pregnancy. What will all the men who can't get laid do? It seems pretty obvious to assume they'll puff up with more misogyny, more resentment, more rage, and even more rape. Republicans have set up an untenable cycle for women's well-being and, of course, for the well-being of the unwanted forced birth children, many of whom will be raised with so much less than they need to thrive. Republicans have turned a sacred, momentous experience into a purity test, a punishment, a crisis, and a form of slavery. When women who are forced to give birth represent nothing but notches on Republicans' forced birthing beds, women will find ways to circumvent even their own instincts to reproduce. You would think Republicans would realize that screwing women over will lead to women screwing Republicans less and less. And my suspicion is, once women shut Republican men out of their lives, it will become clear that Republican men never offered women much in the first place. Yeah. Well, Republican men, have a day. Have a day.